Before we even open to Genesis, we need to answer one simple question. What even is the Bible? Most people know it's a holy book, but they don't really know what that means. So let's make it simple. The Bible is one big story. A story about God, humans, and how everything fits together. It's not a random collection of verses. It's a timeline, a journey, a relationship. And here's something most people don't realize. The Bible wasn't written all at once. It was written over thousands of years by over 40 different authors in different places, languages, and cultures. And yet, somehow, it all tells one connected story. That's because, at its core, the Bible is about God reaching out to people. Now let's talk structure. The Bible has two main parts, the Old Testament and the New Testament. And in total, the Bible has 66 books. The Old Testament has 39, and the New Testament has 27. The Old Testament is everything before Jesus, the creation of the world, the story of Israel, and God's promises. And if you're curious, the first book of the Old Testament is Genesis, and the last book is Malachi. The New Testament is everything after Jesus arrives, his life, his teachings, his death and resurrection, and the beginning of the early church. And its first book is Matthew, and its last book is Revelation. So when you put it all together, the Bible becomes a roadmap that shows where humanity came from, what went wrong, and how God plans to restore everything. And that's why Bible Laps exists, to walk you through that story, one lap at a time. So now that you know what the Bible is, let's finally open it. Lap 1 begins in the very beginning, Genesis chapter 1.
Most of us already know where Genesis begins, the creation story. Genesis was written by Moses, shown to him by God, from the formation of the world all the way to Moses' own time. And if you already know who Moses is, good for you. If you're not sure, don't worry. That's why we're here. We will get to Moses in later episodes.
The Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." And we learn that the earth was formless. There was nothing in it but water and darkness, and God's Spirit moved above the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, creation starts. So God saw that the light was good, and he divided the light from the darkness that was in the beginning. He called the light day, and he called the darkness night. And that marks the first day of creation. The second day, God created an empty space between the waters. This space separated the waters below from the waters above, and God called that space heaven. And that marks the second day of creation. The third day, God gave the command that the waters under the heaven should gather into one place, and that dry land must appear. And it happened exactly as he said. God called the dry land earth, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that this was good. So he spoke again and said, "Let the earth produce grass, plants bearing seed, and trees bearing fruit of all kinds." And it was so. And that marks day 3 of creation. And in verse 14, which was day 4 of creation, God created lights above the heaven to give light on the earth. God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. On day 5, God spoke and said, "Let the waters produce living creatures in abundance, and let birds fly above the earth in the open sky." And it was so. Great sea creatures and every living thing in the waters were created after their kinds, and every flying creature after its kind. After that, God blessed them and gave them permission to multiply in the waters and on the earth, and that marks the 5th day of creation. On the 6th day, God created land animals after their kinds, cattle, beasts, and creeping things. Then in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, God created man in his own likeness. God created man to rule over all his creation, the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the cattle, and all land animals. So God created both male and female in his own likeness. And God blessed them and told them to be fruitful and multiply, to rule over the earth and to eat every fruit, plant, bird, and land animal for food. And that marks the sixth day of creation. God finished creating the heavens and the earth on day 6, and on the seventh day he rested from all his work. So he blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that was the day he rested from creation. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 6, God made it rain for the first time. The rain watered the whole earth at once. And in verse 7, God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So God planted a garden in the east and placed man there to live and take care of it. God told the man that he could eat from every tree he had given him for food, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil he must not eat. For the day you eat from it, you will surely die. After that, God did not like the fact that Adam was alone. So out of the ground, God formed every creature he had spoken into existence earlier, every flying animal and every land animal, and brought them to Adam to name them. And Adam named all the animals. Then, in verse 21, God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, because out of all the animals Adam named, there was none like him. So from Adam's rib, God created a helper for Adam and brought her to him. And Adam said, "Now this is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken from man." In Genesis chapter 3, the woman is visited by the serpent, who was more cunning than all the animals God had created. The serpent spoke to the woman and asked, "Did God say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" The woman replied and said, "We may eat from all the trees in the garden, but not the one in the middle, because we will die." So the serpent continued and said, "You will not die. God knows that the day you eat that fruit, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The woman looked at the tree and saw that it was good for food and pleasing to the eyes, and knowing that it could make one wise, she took it and ate. And she gave it to the man, and he ate as well. After that, their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Later, they heard God approaching, so Adam and his wife hid themselves from God's presence among the trees. And God called out, "Adam, where are you?" Adam replied, "I heard you coming, so I hid myself, because I was naked." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Did you eat from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam replied, "The woman you gave to be with me gave me the fruit, and I ate." God then asked the woman, "What is this you have done?" And the woman replied, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." So God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed above all animals. You will move on your belly, and dust will be your food all the days of your life." God said to the woman, "I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." And God said to Adam, "Because you listened to your wife and ate the fruit I commanded you not to eat, cursed is the ground because of you. In suffering you will work the ground for food, until you return to it. For from it you were taken, and to dust you shall return." Adam called his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all living. God made garments of animal skins and clothed them. And God said, "Behold, the man has become like us, knowing good and evil." So God sent them out of the garden so they would not eat from the tree of life and live forever. And God placed cherubim with a flaming sword to guard the tree of life. In Genesis chapter 4, Eve gave birth to 2 sons. She gave birth to Cain first, and later to Abel. They both grew up. Cain became a farmer, and Abel became a shepherd. In time, the brothers brought offerings to God. Cain brought fruits from the ground, and Abel brought the firstborn of his flock. God accepted Abel's offering, but Cain's offering he did not accept. Cain became angry, and God asked him, "Cain, why are you angry? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is lying at your door." Cain spoke to his brother, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up and killed Abel. God asked Cain, "Where is your brother?" Cain replied, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" God said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are cursed from the earth." Cain then left the presence of the Lord and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. There Cain had a son named Enoch. He built a city and named it after his son, and a new civilization began. Later, Adam and Eve had another son. They named him Seth, and from Seth came generations who called on the name of the Lord.